So hi everyone. So let's start with the Appium. So in this live project, uh, what we'll be doing for today. So today we'll be trying to understand all these statements, and the project we will doing is native app automation using Appium. Okay, and the question will be what we'll be doing, what we'll be trying to resolve here. We'll be doing how to automate native app in Android device. And the description in the description is, in this we will be walk through setup and installation of Appium and Android emulator in automate native app. So we will try to automate any native app with the help of Android emulator, and it is the project level is for beginners and intermediates. So let's go to the next slide. So this is the course curriculum. In that, what I'll be telling you, I'll be teaching you about the introduction to mobile automation, and it's basically the Appium architecture. The second point is that introduction to mobile application test type. Like I'll be telling you what is the difference between emulator and simulator. The third point is Appium installation on Android and iOS. So I'll be telling you the how to set up your Android device in your machine, in your local machine. Either you are using a Windows or Mac. Okay, and yes, the last is Appium architecture, where I'll be briefly explaining you about the how Appium works internally. Okay, and the topic will be topics details are Appium and its use, and the emulator and simulator, and how to use a Appium inspector to inspect any element, and it's the same Appium architecture. And the last one is the live project. So in the live project, we'll try to understand how everything works in your machine, and how we install Appium, how we set up Android environment, how we set up emulators. All these stuff will be try to understand. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so let's start with Appium. So this is the briefly introduction about the Appium. So as you all know, Appium is an open source tool for automating native mobile, web, and hybrid application. And this is Appium we can use on iOS mobile and Android mobile also, even on Windows desktop platform also. So basically with Appium we can automate native apps also web app also, mobile web apps. And the combination of mobile app, web app, and native app, that is a hybrid app also, we can do it using Appium. So coming to mobile web apps, what is native apps? First we try to understand. So native apps are those written using iOS and Android and Windows SDK. So Android developer use Android SDK using Java language or any other language. He develop Android application. So that is which is use Android SDK or iOS SDK or Windows SDK. That is the particular app is called a native app. And what is mobile web apps? Mobile web apps are web apps accessed using a mobile browser. Okay, so in your mobile you have a Chrome browser. In that you can just click on it and you can type anything. It will open the Google page. So that everything comes on the mobile web apps part. Okay, so Appium support both Safari on iOS and Chrome or built-in browsers app. So it supports all the built-in browser. Appium support everything, either a Safari also and Chrome also. Okay, what are hybrid apps? That is also I told you that is a combination of native and web apps. So that is a wrapper of a wrapper around a web view. Okay, that hybrid app will be found in a native app only, in the app only, application only. That will be a wrapper. Okay, so the last one, Appium is a cross platform. Cross platform means you can automate in iOS also, Android also, and Windows also using the same API. Means you have written one piece of code, and that piece of code is working on iOS also, Android also, and Windows also. So that is the most important thing about Appium. This enable code reuse. You can use the same code on 3 platform. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So why mobile automation testing? Why we go for mobile automation? Why we not manually test entire thing? So the key points are, it is efficient. Okay, it is efficient means we do not have to test the same feature again and again. In order to that, we will run our automation script, and that will take care of the entire regression suite. Faster means the same piece of test features, we have the time taken to do it manually and time taken by automation script is much faster. It will be 10 into 20 into x faster than the manual speed. Okay, and the third one is reusability. So when we have developed the automation script, we can use that framework anywhere. Okay, so we can reuse piece of code anywhere. Also, we can do a cross platform testing using Appium script. Okay, it is a reliable also. Okay, and cost reduction means it is an open source, so it won't take any cost. Okay, so it is a cost reduction also. So it means we do not have to hire more manual tester. Rather than will be write one automation engineer or two automation engineer will write all the script, and that script take care of the entire feature or a product. So let's go to the next slide. So Appium support what? So here it is mentioned, as you can see in the diagram, there are 6 language where Appium supports. One of them is Java, that is the most popular, and Python also, and Ruby, C#, PHP, JavaScript, all these support Appium. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So Appium handles both simulators and real devices. Okay, even emulators also. So there I have mentioned, as you can see, the first one at the left side is a real device where we can connect Appium to the real device also, and the right side, it is a simulator. We can perform simulator. What is simulator? Simulator is a software that behave like a real device. So we create such environment where it mimic with the real devices. Okay, let's go to the next slide now. So here also, as you can see, it supports, the diagram showing it supports native app, hybrid app, and web app also. Okay, so same I have shown with the help of diagram also. So let's go to the next slide then. So Appium is compatible with Selenium Webdriver. Again, yes, when you have a Selenium Webdriver, or we have a Selenium Java client libraries, that sufficient to work with Appium. That jar file is sufficient to work with Appium. So that diagram is showing that. So it is showing telling about the Appium, little bit about the Appium architecture. We have a Selenium test, and here is a WebDriver API. Okay, and it is sending command to the Appium. So Selenium will write a code, then it will convert into a JSON format, and it will go to the Appium. So Appium, what it will do, it will send the request to the real device or an emulator, and the response client will send the response. I mean, the device will send the response to the Appium back. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So from here we can start writing code and start setting up our Appium setup. So what are the prerequisites to use Appium? One of them is JDK, that is a Java development kit. So that should be installed, okay, in our laptop. Either it's a Mac or OS or Mac, Windows, or Ubuntu. The second one, most important, is Eclipse. Okay, that is a IDE. Either we can have a Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA. The third one is Android SDK. So we need to create an environment for Appium to interact with the Android limiter or real device. For that, we have to set up Android SDK. The fourth one is Selenium Webdriver jar. So we should have a Selenium Webdriver jar either through Maven dependencies, or we can have it manually. We can copy it and we can paste in the libraries. Okay, we can set up in IntelliJ or Eclipse. The fifth one is Appium for Mac and Windows. So Appium's installation should be done. Either we can have a GUI or we can have from the backend, from the terminal itself. Okay, okay. So the last one is APK or app info from Play Store. We should have an information about the app which we want to automate. Okay, so go to the next slide. This is, I am here, you can see how to start a Appium server. Okay, I'll show you with the live project how we can start the Appium server. What is this port 127.0.0? What is the use of that? What is this default port 4723? That will be showing. So this is the diagram how Appium server start. Okay, so now this is the part of a script. So here, as you can see in the diagram, we have a desired capabilities, and desired capabilities basically the requirements which fulfill for a device to interact with Appium. So all these capabilities like device name, Appium version, platform name, app package, these are prerequisite for a Appium to interact with the real device. This I will show you in my when we're doing a live project or a demo, then I'll show you. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So here the use of test-ng is shown. At the rate test is the annotations which we use in test-ng. Okay, let's go to the final how Appium works, the working architecture of Appium. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram, we have a WebDriver script. Then below it we have Appium server. Okay, and the last one we have devices. This can be an emulator or a real device or simulator. Okay, so what this diagram showing, I'll be explaining you. WebDriver script, what we write a code in Java. Okay, that is a high level language. So that language convert into the HTTP format or a JSON format. So the high level language, it will get converted to the JSON format using JSON wire protocol. So it is at the top left side, it is mentioned automation commands are sent in form of JSON via HTTP request. Now the request has came to the Appium server. So Appium server is built in Node.js. Okay, so the JSON format, we have the high level language converted into a JSON format. Now Appium server invoke on the specific devices, that is the emulator and real devices, in the form of a URL. So it execute the command in the real devices, and the in response that real device send a response to the Appium server. So see here written in point number 2, Appium server invokes vendor specific mechanism to execute those commands. The third point is client send back message to the Appium server. It means the real device are sending message back responses to the Appium server. Okay. And the last one, Appium server, the fourth point, Appium server log the result in console. So we will able to see the results in the console or in Appium server itself. So this will be you will be getting when you get know more knowledge about this when we'll do a live project. Okay, now I'll start with demo of Appium automation script. So we'll start automating a native app. So let me minimize this slide, and I'll be going to IntelliJ.